Hello there, Pippin here. If you're wondering why I have a picture of Henry looking so frightened, it's because I'm going to be talking about some childhood nightmares that I recalled as a little kid. Let's get started with the titular show in the night garden. Yes, I used to watch this show as a little kid, and now I hate it because of a few reasons. One, it's really annoying, and two, there was a lot of things I used to be scared about in that show. And one of them was the Iggle Piggle Egg-Along scene with the Ninky Nonk crashing through the bush. Yeah, I used to be so scared of that scene, to the point that every time it comes on, I would have to duck down, or maybe run into my dad's arms every time that scene comes on. I think it's because the way the Ninky Nonk crashed through the bush that made me scarred for life. I don't know. Next up, it's Space Pirates. Yes, I know I'm scared of a kid show about music. I know there's good music in the show, but there's one thing I hate about it, and that's the fact that they use shock horror A. Yes, my childhood nightmare and arch nemesis of my most hated sound effects in the world. In one episode, Music to Warm Me Up, they play shock horror A 4 times. Every time they said sound effect played, not once, not twice, but 4 times. I think the 4th time it got interrupted. And to be honest, after hearing that as a little kid, it made me grow my fear of hating that sound effect. And I still am scared of that sound effect till this day. If any of you guys love the sound effect or like the sound effect, I can't handle your opinion. Next up, we have the puzzler from Numberjacks. Yes, I am scared of the puzzler. I used to be scared of the puzzler from Numberjacks, due to the way he self-destructs at the end of his mischievousness, and the way he gets up to no good of bubbling people and trapping people inside of this bubble and stuff. Why did the animators agreed on making him explode? I don't know. It must be their idea. Also, another thing that scared me about him was the way he appeared out of nowhere in some episodes. Like, for example, 9 Lives. Yeah, he'd done that before. Another thing that I used to be terrified of, and I think I am still terrified of this thing till today, is Mr. Maker. One thing to mention, this is my most hated show. I loathe this show with a burning passion, but anyone here who likes the show, I honestly can handle your opinion, like shock horror, my hatred of shock horror A and Space Pirates. But there's a thing that I hate about Mr. Maker, and that's Talkie. Talkie, the no good, jump scare loving bird. Every time he appears, he just jump scares you. He just comes close to the TV, like, why? Also, I guess that he predicted Chica. He did, didn't he? Yeah. Also, another thing I should mention, Telly-Tales did the same thing on one of their promos, and I think the episode was from Little Red Riding Hood, where the granny had a cuckoo clock, and the cuckoo bird did the same thing as Talkie, which scared me as well. Another thing that scared me was another thing on Numberjacks, which was the Problem Blob. Everyone is going to agree what I'm going to say. I used to be scared of him because his eye goes out of his mouth, and the way he And the way he exploded, it's like the same energy as the puzzler, almost. Another thing that I used to be scared of, which wasn't related to CBeebies, was some shows that, well, one show in particular, Family Fortunes. That god-awful wrong answer buzzer is very, very overstimulating for me. Every time I hear the sound effect, my misophonia just goes haywire. And it still does till this very day. Every time I get it, it just triggers me a lot. Also, another thing that triggered me, and it isn't related to shows or movies, was in those musical birthday cards that whenever you open them, they play music. Yes, I used to have a Winnie the Pooh one, and whenever you opened it, it played Happy Birthday. But I remembered finding it at the age of 4, and the batteries died on it. I think it used to belong to my mom or something. I don't know. I think it was my sister. Yeah, it was my sister. My sister had it way before me, and she just erased her in real life name and put mine in it. Also, another thing that scared me was a movie that I think nobody has ever heard of, which was a Christmas movie called Toys. I think that's the name of the movie. There was one scene where some kids were going inside the store late at night, and it was all quiet until one kid bumped into a clown statue, and the clown statue made a very loud honking noise. And I do remember watching the movie before on Channel 5, and that terrified me as a little kid. That terrified me so much, to the point that I had nightmares about that. Also, another thing that scared me on TV was the map from Dora the Explorer. I do know that I talked about it to Melon. Sorry if my grammar was a bit wonky there. But every time the map zoomed in with his mouth opened and at the screen, that terrified me more than ever. That used to terrify me. Also, last but not least, there was a Looney Tunes DVD that I used to have, which included an episode called, I forgot the episode, but the episode had a cuckoo bird and Porky went to somewhere called Wacky Land. And there was these three-headed weirdos, and they talked in a weird voice, and they came close to the TV as well. I think that's all I can remember. Have I forgotten about something? Oh yeah, Pippin, you forgot about something. You forgot about the Teletubbies voice trumpet. Yes, the Teletubbies voice trumpet was the worst thing I would ever see while watching my Discover and Do DVD as a little kid in 2007. Yes, I used to own a DVD called Discover and Do. And there was one show that was called Teletubbies, and I know everyone knows about this show. And it includes an episode of the show. But then there's one thing that I hated about it. And that's whenever the intro finishes, you get this weird voice trumpet that said, "Where have the Teletubbies gone?" And that used to terrify me. Well, jump scare me more like. To the point that I also had nightmares. And that includes all the reasons and all of the stuff that I got terrified of as a little kid. I hope you see me next time, and goodbye for another weird rant or salute or whatever I could do. See ya.